So good morning this morning. My name is Michael Wangeshi. Welcome to The Seat, a segment of the Car Planet Motor Magazine where I give my opinion on issues that are surrounding motor vehicles. There's been a lot of uproar around the Finance Bill 2024 and specifically in the motor vehicle sector. That is because the Finance Bill 2024 seeks to impose a new 2.5% of let me confirm this. Let me actually read this to you. The bill proposes to introduce a tax known as motor vehicle tax at the rate of 2.5% of the value of the motor vehicle. To put this into context for you, you will pay 2.5% of your motor vehicle's value every year just so that you can use it around the country. Normally in this country, you are required to pay close to 17 taxes on your motor vehicle. Most of these taxes are, of course, incurred in the importation of the motor vehicle. But past importation, there's other taxes. For instance, when you're importing a motor vehicle, the first one you pay import duty. You also pay exercise duty. You pay a value added tax at 16%. You pay the railway development levy, and you also pay the import declaration fee. That is for your vehicle to get to this country. Ifike port, umeclear hii gari, umechukua, umetoka nayo. Once you're out of the showroom with this vehicle, some other indirect taxes also start coming into play, mostly at the pump, because every time you're fueling your vehicle, you pay the following taxes. The first one, you pay exercise duty on fuel. You also pay road maintenance levy. You pay petrol development levy. You pay petroleum regulatory levy. You also pay the railway development levy. You pay anti-adulteration levy. You pay shipping levy for the petroleum, of course. You pay importation declaration fee for the petroleum. You pay VAT on fuel that recently increased from the former 8% to double at 16% right now. Every time your vehicle breaks down, you pay VAT on vehicle spare parts. You also pay VAT during service when you're buying your engine oil, when you're buying your fuel filters, when you're buying your air filter. All these things are already charged tax. And when you go to your mechanic, the mechanic is already being taxed enough, and they will cascade these taxes towards you. You also pay an insurance premium levy at 0.25% during the annual renewal of your insurance. And if that isn't enough, Coco, here is a new bill right at your door, 2.5%. Because I mean, you can just use your vehicle in this country just like that and get away with it. So the government has decided that, let me read this. This tax will be payable on each motor vehicle at the time of issuance of insurance cover. The bill proposes that the insurer of the motor vehicle shall collect and remit motor vehicle tax within 5 working days after issuing of the motor vehicle with insurance cover. An insurer who fails to collect and remit motor vehicle tax shall be liable to pay a penalty equivalent to 50% of the uncollectible tax and the actual amount of the uncollected tax. So for instance, your vehicle is valued at 1 million shillings. 2.5% of that is 25,000, which you will be required to pay your insurer every year, who then the insurer will be required to cascade that amount to the government. Failure to do so, this is a situation where your insurance has not asked you for this money. Ama alikuitisha hii pesa na bado hujampatia. So, na yeye amekupatia insurance cover. Then, this insurer will be required to pay that 25,000 of yours that you pay every year. And then a fine of 50% of that. 50% is 12,500. Added on to, let's add this. This comes to 37,500. This is as penalty for your insurance because of failing to remit your vehicle. What is it called? Introduction of motor vehicle tax. So failing to remit your motor vehicle tax. It proceeds to say, Apachini, the proposal is aimed at expanding the tax base. But here is where I pose the question. How is it that you're expanding the tax base of a base that has already actually been taxed, because this is give or take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 17 taxes, give or take. How is it that you're expanding the tax base using a base that is already in the tax base? You're you're going back to the basket to take the mango that you already put there and then putting it back and saying, wow, behold, we have a new mango in the basket. I want you to understand this critically, because once this bill is passed, you will be required by law to remit 2.5% of your vehicle's worth every year, on top of paying for insurance. You pay for insurance and you pay to use that motor vehicle that you paid for during importation, and then you further proceed to pay for it on a daily at the pump. And if anything should break down in that vehicle, you proceed to pay. Owning a vehicle has become very expensive, very, very expensive. And that is minus the finance bill. In my opinion, you have already been taxed enough on this motor vehicle ndo ifike hapa. And bado, you're being taxed on it every year for insurance and almost on a daily at the pump. And if anything should go wrong with this motor vehicle, shida ni yako bana. Ni shida yako. And if you break down anything bana, the government says, wewe ukikuja, itabidi ulipe VAT, ndo tukupatie hiyo shock ambayo ulivunja. Guided by this bana, let mwananchi enjoy their motor vehicle. Why are you charging me to use my motor vehicle every year that you are already charging me to use? If you don't believe that you're already being charged to use this motor vehicle, let me take you back a while ago to when petroleum prices were at this low. And it was so long ago, so long, it seemed like so long ago. We can't even remember which year that was. Against what Wanjiku pays for every day at the pump. This is what Wanjiku is paying. In conclusion, it is in my opinion, that we should reject the Finance Bill 2024, especially in respect to this class of motor vehicle tax. If we don't reject the Finance Bill 2024, kitaturamba tena kitaturamba vibaya sana. But then again, I have taken the seat, I have passed my verdict. This is my opinion.